Hi, and welcome to this week's episode of State Champs Chat. I'm Stephanie.
I'm Lauren.
And we both played soccer, so we're going to start off with what's trending this week. We're going to talk about the USA game last night.
World Cup, USA defeated Germany, who was the #1 team in the entire world, 2-0. Germany had a penalty kick that they missed, and then we got a penalty kick. We made it, and then we scored another goal off of beautiful cross, beautiful little tap-in. It was great.
Yeah, it was a really exciting game. There was a huge collision in the first half with two girls hitting heads and head bleeding all over. It was pretty messed up. But the U.S. will play Sunday against either England or Japan, and they lost to Japan in the 2011 World Cup.
They did lose to Japan in the 2011 World Cup.
So this is a big deal.
Japan and England play tonight at 7 p.m., so we'll see who they're going to be playing Sunday after that.
The U.S. hasn't won a Women's World Cup since 1999.
Which is
so
crazy.
This is huge.
I know. I think that was when Brandy Chastain scored the winning penalty kick and was running around.
Yeah, back in our soccer glory days, people that we looked up to. And the U.S. team is led by Hope Solo. She's their goalie and really leads their defense and has been a really strong player for them. They haven't allowed a goal since the first half of their first game,
which is
in
amazing.
The World Cup.
Which is really amazing.
Really
and it's
crazy.
A great thing going into the World Cup finals.
Yeah,
having that. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, that'll be a big game we'll have to watch on Sunday. Now we're going to talk about the NBA draft. A lot of draft stuff happening in the NBA and the NHL right now. But something kind of funny and interesting that just happened is Larry Nance Jr. just finished his college basketball career with Wyoming and was drafted to the Lakers in the first round. And it came out that he had tweeted in 2012 or 2012 about Kobe Bryant and had tweeted at him about the sexual assault allegations that he had. And
basically he called him a rapist in his tweet, and now they're going to be playing together.
Yeah, now they're going to be teammates. So everyone was asking him about it, and he was terrified.
Yeah, and he actually sent Kobe Bryant an apology. He deleted the tweet, sent him an apology on Twitter. Was it on Twitter, I think?
Yeah.
Just saying, I'm so sorry, because he
was calling him sir. He was like, Mr. Kobe Bryant, sir. And Kobe made some joke like, it might be time for me to hang up the shoes. People are calling me sir. But he said, it's fine, it's past in the past. It's water under the bridge. Good luck, I'm excited.
Move on. Kobe Bryant can play with this rookie.
Yeah, but can you imagine?
I could not imagine.
I would be terrified. Especially, really I'm sure that's someone he's looked up to for a lot of his career.
I know, definitely.
Terrifying. You got to watch what you say on social media. We've talked about this before, but you never know what an employer could see, what a teacher. Scary.
It's always really important, so... Yeah, it's funny though.
It is funny. Now we're going to talk about our athlete of the week, and this week it's a sad story, but we wanted to recognize him. There was a Cass Tech football player this week, Kevon Sardin, that passed away in a car crash this past weekend, and he was a running back and kick returner that had signed to play at Siena Heights this fall. Really sad story, so we just wanted to make him our athlete of the week and send out our thoughts and prayers to everyone at Cass Tech and in the Metro Detroit area. Really sad. The coach, Thomas Wilcher, said, he was a great player, really just wanted to be the best athlete he could be and was willing to do anything that it took to be that, and said that when it was football season, that really, kind of turned his life around. Football is what made him happy. So
he had a bright future ahead of him. It's really, really sad. So prayers go out to his family and all of his friends and everyone else that he impacted in his life.
Definitely. Speaking of basketball again, now we're going to go on to some hot topics. LeBron decided to opt out of his player contract with the Cavs.
Always involved in the scandal. I feel like he just likes being in the spotlight and he doesn't know how to get out of it.
Yeah. Now they lost the playoffs. He's out of the spotlight. Oh, no, now he's going to be back in it. Again. He decided to opt out of his player contract, and now today he is becoming an unrestricted free agent. This is the third time in the past 6 years that he's done this.
I know. They're saying that he is going to sign a 3-year deal with the Cavs for about $22 million a year. Actually, I think it's a 4-year deal for about $22 million a year, which is an insane amount of money. But I think he likes to draw the attention to himself just to... Why not?
Apparently, he's waiting to see how Kevin Love's free agency plays out before he finalizes his deal. But they're expected to offer him a max contract tomorrow or today, and this will be a slight raise. I guess if he re-signed with them, he would be making 21.5. So it's a little bit of a raise, and I guess this will allow him to opt out again next summer when the NBA raises their salary cap. So then he can sign a longer deal with the Cavs and get an even higher salary.
Because he definitely needs that.
Yeah. making it to the playoffs his first year, which I think was a huge accomplishment.
I think it's really cool.
Yeah, a huge accomplishment for them his first year back. So I'm surprised that he wants more still.
I know.
Always.
It's okay. We just know always to look for LeBron in the spotlight. You'll see him there. So you never miss out on what he's doing.
Never. Another hot topic that we want to discuss is not necessarily sports, but also a lot of athletes and celebrities have been tweeting about it, going crazy all over social media. Last Friday, the Supreme Court ruled that same-sex couples can get married across the entire U.S.
It is, and it was a huge thing issued in New York. I know it started booming. People are posting rainbows everywhere. I know everyone's Facebook pictures right now are all the rainbows.
Love wins was the phrase that everyone said after this, and it really took off over social media, apps, brands, celebrities. Everyone was tweeting about it. Facebook offered that filter on their profile with the rainbow to go over your profile picture. Twitter made their own hashtag with a rainbow emoji at the end. And a lot of brands were coming up with some really interesting campaigns, like Chipotle. I don't know if you saw, they put out an ad with a burrito that said, "Homo estás."
That's actually really
Which
funny.
I thought was really funny.
That's clever.
Yeah,
That's
it was
really
clever. And a lot of airlines, Target, Visa, AT&T, everyone introduced these ads after Friday saying, "Love wins, we're accepted everywhere." I thought it was really interesting.
It's a huge day for gay rights activists and everyone out there who is homosexual, which is really, really cool for them. Love wins.
It's cool that we get to be a part of this. I mean, I feel like this is something that, is going to be talked about as a big moment in history for a really long time, so it's kind of cool that...
Because it was only legal in a few states, right? Yeah, so that's really, really cool. It's all across America now. Apparently,
there's a couple states that still aren't the biggest fans of it. I think some in the South, I forget which state it was, they said that, I guess... somebody said in the state, you don't have to issue these licenses. They might sue you, but you don't have to. So it'll be interesting to see how all the states adapt this after some weren't allowing it for a really long time. So it'll be interesting.
But it is cool to see everything that's come out of it,
Yeah, everyone's really been talking about it since Friday. Now it's time to talk about our Score or Fumble segment, and we're going to talk about Sepp Blatter, a little bit of FIFA again. He was the president, and all this controversy happened earlier in June where a bunch of officials were arrested from FIFA for various things, and Sepp Blatter said that he was going to step down as president immediately. And he said, FIFA needs a rehaul. I know that, things have happened, a lot of controversy, and he said he was going to step down. Well, now he's saying, oh, I didn't say that. I just was saying I'm not going to run for re-election. And apparently the election won't happen until early 2016.
Yeah.
Score or fumble, what do you think of Sepp Blatter?
I think that is a fumble. I think that all of this has happened under his watch. I think that he needs to resign and they need to find someone else who's going to step up and
maybe just a replacement.
Exactly.
Somehow.
Because people are very, very upset right now.
Right, and it's not putting FIFA in a good spotlight, and I don't think it's helping, bring support of FIFA to the U.S. because it's not as big in the U.S. And I don't know. I agree with you. It's a fumble. I think, in light of all this controversy that's been going on, they kind of need to do something about it now.
I think action needs to be taken, definitely. And I don't know, they need to make steps to progress FIFA,
Yeah, I would agree. Now it's time to go to our clip of the week, which is hilarious this week. Marshawn Lynch was on Conan O'Brien. He cracks me up.
Yeah, he is.
I think, he has a love for Skittles, and this came out a couple years ago. He plays for the Seattle Seahawks, if you don't know him. And I think the first time it was after he scored a touchdown or right before a touchdown, a camera zoomed in on him, and he was on the sidelines with handfuls of Skittles. And apparently it started when he was younger. His mom would give him a bag of Skittles before every game, and it was motivation. And so he says, Skittles have been... He gives them credit for a lot of his big moments in his career. He even became an ambassador for Skittles, did some commercials and promos for them, wore some Skittles shoes and got suspended for it by the league. But he's not the biggest fan of media, so it's kind of interesting that
he's been fined before.
Yeah, what's the phrase he said? He said, "I'm just here so I don't get fined."
Yeah, when he had interviews and all he was saying, "No, thank you. Yes, thank you."
Yeah,
like he would just say, "Thank you very much."
And so I was kind of surprised that he went on Conan in the first place. Apparently, he gave him a T-shirt that said, "I'm just here so I don't get fined."
I want to buy one of those.
And then Conan O'Brien said here's an end zone for you. Will you make a touchdown catching it? And it was an end zone full of Skittles.
It was an end zone full of Skittles.
And he did his famous grab at the end.
And if you haven't seen it, I would definitely look it up. It was really, really funny.
It was a really funny video, and I think it just goes to show, Marshawn Lynch might not be down with the media and some of their questions sometimes, but he's a funny guy. And
he definitely has a great personality, which I think is hilarious.
Yeah, I thought
he shares our love for Skittles, too.
Yeah, you love them.
I love Skittles.
All right, guys. Well, State Champs is done for the summer, but we're still going to be happening all summer long, as well as a bunch of different things, new announcements, new shows that we'll have going on. So make sure to interact with us on social media. Tweet us what you want us to talk about. This is about you, what's trending in sports. So stay in touch with us. We'll see you next week.
Bye.